So if you didn't know, you will now. Steve Shives will be appearing live July the 6th to the 8th next year at the Atheist Conference. This following on, recall from what happened at Mythicist Milwaukee. And Steve Shives played a central part in that with regard to Sargon of Akkad, trying to get Sargon of Akkad deplatformed, trying to encourage people to not attend. Main names, big names not to attend that event. That's what he tried to do. And then when that didn't happen, make sure that Sargon's feet were held to the fire, make sure that the most controversial, embarrassing things that they could find would be the things that were talked about live on stage. So what should happen here? As an observer, I'm interested to see what people's reactions will be to Steve Shives on this event. What I would like to say first off is that I hope people don't try and deplatform Steve Shives, because I think, not just because he plays into his hands, it's nothing to do with that, it's because I think he's a legitimate guest to have at an atheist event. If you look at his content historically, but also his content today, he still makes plenty of relevant content in that regard. However, this is the thing. The precedent was set, I think, with Sargon of Akkad. This is the way that you do things now. If you have somebody that people regard as controversial, and let's be honest, the vast majority of people regard Steve Shives, who know him online, regard Steve Shives as a controversial, polarizing figure who said some pretty objectionable things. So the precedent has been set that if you have somebody like that, you don't talk about things that are necessarily relevant to the event. What you have to do is hold their feet to the fire. What you have to do is say, you shouldn't have this person on stage, it's going to look a shit show. But if you do, these are the things that you need to be asking them, questioning them about. These are the most embarrassing things. And then when they're asked about them, when they're questioned on them, and when the whole event turns into a shit show, you go, ha! I told you it was going to turn into a shit show. You should have listened to us and not embarrassed us. So assuming that that is what is going to happen, what are the things that Steve Shives should be asked about at this conference? What are the things that we can ask Steve Shives about? Because having Steve Shives is going to turn the whole thing into a shit show. And then when they do ask Steve Shives about them and go on and on and on about them for an hour, we can all go, ha! I told you it would turn the whole thing into a shit show. So I'd like to know from you, let's compile a bit of a list. Let's get this started. What are the things that we really would like to see Steve Shives questioned about? The most abhorrent things, the most controversial things, the most contentious things that he said on YouTube. That's what I would like to know. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Bye for now. Update. It turns out actually that Steve Shives will be appearing as part of, get this, a YouTube panel at the event with Christy Winters and Foxy Jezebel. You couldn't have a bigger fuck you, could you, for diversity of thought on YouTube? I think that's just a perfect example of where the diversity thing can fail. On the initial level, you've got a white man, you've got a white woman, you've got a black woman, so you've got some diversity there. In terms of diversity opinion, nothing could be less representative of atheists on YouTube than these three fucking goons and nobody else. But I'm slightly concerned as to who's going to hold his feet to the fire here. I can't really see Foxy Jezebel and Christy Winters really playing the hardline interlocutor alongside Steve here. So I'm a little bit concerned as to how this is going to pan out. Interested in your thoughts. Okay, bye again.